Good evening, everyone. It's a little bit late. I've missed 3 days of Facebook Lives with Hemochromatosis, World Hemochromatosis Week. It's been a pretty hectic week and we do what we do and then we catch up. So today is actually day 3 of facts that I've been presenting, and today's facts are about the organ damage that can be presented, or people can present with organ damage when they have hemochromatosis. And is there a role that natural medicine and aligned with Western medicine can use in order to detect organ damage and also prevent and support the recovery of those people that have got organ damage? So just a little story for those of you who don't know about hemochromatosis. It's a genetic iron overload disorder, and what happens with hemochromatosis is that you have too much iron stored as ferritin in the system or in the organs of the body, namely the liver, the pancreas. The liver's the pretty important mechanism or organ that we use for getting rid of toxins, and so many other filtering systems that it has. I can't even think today. It's Sunday. I'm getting a little bit tired. So the liver is a filtering system of the body, and what it does is it helps to reduce any toxic overload to the body. Hi Dakota, how you doing? And so what hemochromatosis does, if you have too much iron that's stored as ferritin in the body, then with the genetic mutation that doesn't understand how to get rid of that ferritin, your body absorbs it like a sponge. It sucks it up. So I've been exposed to this disorder since I was 28 years old, and I'm now not that, double that, and not quite double that. And I have proven to many people, including health specialists in this area, that you can actually reverse. I'm sorry, I had a call. You can actually reverse the damage that hemochromatosis has on the organs in the body. And I am living proof of that. So back when I was 26, 27, 28, I was trying to find a reason why I was so fatigued. And I was told, as a studying naturopath, that you've probably got some issues with your iron, so go and have some more iron, go and drink herbal teas or go and take iron tablets, you'll probably be okay. But I wasn't okay, and I did actually take the advice of medical experts to go and do that, but it just didn't sit right with me. And so I got to the point where, thankfully, I was studying natural medicine in second year, and we were talking about anatomy and physiology, and one of my very favourite practitioner friends said, we need to go and do some proper research. So I went off on my merry way, and I found a doctor of endocrinology or hormone doctor that actually properly assessed my iron levels. And thankfully, I found that I had massive levels of iron in my bloodstream, or ferritin, that was actually really damaging to my system. I'm just trying to have a look on Facebook to see if there's any questions as I go along. Because please, if you're online and you want to know a little bit more, or if you have anyone in your family who has symptoms of fatigue, joint disorders, hormonal changes, really exhausting fatigue, osteoporosis, heart attack, diabetes, your bronzing of the skin, if your skin's going a little bit bronze, or if you've got little melanin pigments over your face and body, you really need to have a look and have a chat to me so I can help you understand what it is you need to ask for. So can iron overload disorder or hemochromatosis, can those people that have that disorder, that have been misdiagnosed and found too late, do anything to reverse the organ damage that's occurred for them? And briefly, I can just vouch for the hard work and effort you can put into your body, into your health, to help you do that. Yes, you need to have regular venisections or blood removal through a specialist doctor's centre, or you might see a gastroenterologist or a haematologist that looks at the blood. But you can actually do a lot outside of that. And unfortunately, the facts out there, because hemochromatosis is a genetic disorder, people freak out and think, oh God, I'm dying. There's no reason, if you can diagnose this early enough, that you can actually reverse with a lot of help, a lot of good hard work, and a lot of genetic information to your cells through nutrition, through good gut health, through reducing the oxidative stress, or the stress that your body cells then have because you're not able to detoxify easily. So if you actually are a sufferer of hemochromatosis and you have a lot of the symptoms like fatigue, joint pains and aches, you might lose your vision, and that's a good point. I actually lost my vision in terms of my vision became very, very blurry around the time I was diagnosed, probably 4 or 5 years prior to that. And it just didn't fit with me. I couldn't see things at night time when I was driving my combi around Australia on a holiday. And I had to go off and get glasses and then step forward into post-diagnosis after I was diagnosed maybe 5 or 10 years later, and I thought, I'm actually I haven't worn my glasses for ages. And I realise now that knowing more about the body and how the body works with naturopathy, oxidative stress is a massive game changer for anyone with a chronic health problem. And that can be stemming from too much sugar in the diet and or glucose. The insulin and the pancreas that produces insulin to help mop up blood sugars often becomes affected, and the pancreas can also be have a huge impact on people with hemochromatosis. So the liver, the pancreas, the heart, all these body organs are not immune to oxidative stress. And what oxidative stress is where your cells are being damaged or beaten up, you might say, and there's not enough detoxification for your body to then go and repair those cells. And oxidative stress can be found through blood tests. It can be found through, I do blood tests with a live approach. So I look at the blood under the microscope and I can see if you've got reactive oxygen species in your blood through a live blood screening. And I know for a fact that my blood levels of oxidative stress when I was doing the training for the live blood screening were through the roof. And I knew for a fact that if I took the right medicines that are aligned with science to reduce oxidative stress, I could easily reverse and or support my own blood strength, because I could see it in my blood. I could see the parameters through blood testing, and I felt better. One of those such tablets that I take is this little baby. I've been taking it not very regularly lately, but then I've started taking it. This is full of beautiful anti-inflammatory herbs that are designed and scientifically soundly validated to reduce the burden that oxidative stress has on our cells. You might go and find some things like turmeric in your shopping cart. You might go and find herbs that are actually therapeutically valued herbs. So it means that they've been tested for what they actually are. And you must remember, you go out and buy these things off the shelf in a supermarket, they're not going to be as strong as a practitioner blend, because we're able to use the right doses to therapeutically reduce through the research that they've done on these, and also know that the companies that sell to practitioners have actually fully tested these to make sure they are what they say they are. So that little pill there has been a godsend for me with my joints and all of that sort of thing. So if I'm pushing myself and I'm not sleeping well, or if I'm eating the wrong foods, not that I do that much, but when life gets busy, you just do what you can do, don't you? And it's been amazing. So if anyone out there is suffering joint pains or fatigue and things like that, please have a look at what your liver is doing. Fatty liver is one of those pre-liver cirrhosis diagnoses, and it doesn't mean that you may not have fatty liver from things that are commonly associated with that, which is alcohol, overuse of alcohol, or fatty foods. You might think, well, hang on a minute, I don't eat that much stuff. I don't drink that much. How can I be having fatty liver? Like, what's going on there? Fatty liver is a precursor to liver cirrhosis, which I had. I had liver cirrhosis diagnosed at the tender age of 28. And I know now, looking back, it was the iron that was overloading in my system that was causing the problem. So it's really interesting when you understand the body and the way the body speaks to us, something's not quite right. So I'm just checking to see if there's any questions there. So the iron stored in the body ranks second only to smoking as the strongest risk factor for heart disease and attacks. This is a survey or study I did back in 2003 when I was studying naturopathy, because I wanted to know every possible thing there was to know about hemochromatosis. And back in 1999, they actually knew this. They knew the iron, if it's stored in the body as ferritin, it ranks second only to smoking as the strongest risk factor for heart disease because it causes oxidative stress. The macrophages, or the white blood cells in the lungs, have been found to be brimming with iron. They have been shown to dislodge iron from its receptacle, which is the storage receptacle, and promote iron-dependent destruction of white blood cells. As soon as the body's cells start destroying things, you have release of toxic mediators. So what can we do about that? What we can do about that is make sure that your body is in a balance of acid and alkaline balance. Your doctor can do a blood test called an anion gap, and they should, and the pathology lab should check this, but they often don't. So we need to then learn how to analyze that from a blood test. That's something that I look at every single time I get blood test results back for myself. And I say, oh, I'm getting up near the acidic stage here, so my body is going to be trying to balance that out by releasing calcium, which is an alkalizing mineral, back into the bloodstream. So if that, if your calcium's being leached from your bones, what happens then? Your bones become rather brittle. Osteoporosis is a very known and very common disorder of elderly people, but can also be something in younger people that can be picked up because your body is in an acid-alkaline imbalance. We need a lovely pH in our body. One of the things I've done for myself is to make sure I invest in brilliant water purification and naturally alkalizing water devices, which everyone who knows me knows I'm passionate about water for a good reason. It reduces this particular water that I drink and have at home on my sink. I can't buy it. I won't buy it because it comes in plastic bottles or plastic containers or whatever, and who knows what minerals they've thrown in it to make it alkaline. But I make it myself at home through my device. I just turn the tap on and it comes through the spout. It's simple. What that does is helps my body to restore any imbalances in the acid-alkaline balance in my body. So the anion gap, the water you drink, the food you eat, the gut health you have, and these all help to support a healthy antioxidant-rich body. You need to have antioxidants to mop up free radicals. Free radicals are like spikes that go out and damage things, damage the cells. The other thing that we can do is understand our genetics, and not just the gene for hemochromatosis, but the nutritional genetics, the methylation pathways. And so many of you that know me as a practitioner and a colleague or friend know that I'm into nutritional genetics, and I've been studying these now for a number of years, probably 5 to 10. They started becoming relevant when we had a gene that we could find out that was very commonly associated with diabetes and people who couldn't lose weight. It's called the Mthfr gene. Write that down. Follow me on Facebook and you'll find a group where you get so much information. It's a simple gene test. It's a simple cheek swab. But a company I now work with has 20 to 30 superpower genes that help to drive our nutritional biochemistry in our blood. So basically it helps to balance our bodies when we have known genetic mutations or variants in SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms. Next session I'll talk a little bit more about that. And so now what we do is we do a simple cheek swab, and we can send that to a specialized lab that's certified with a machine that can then make you your specific nutrients that support your MTHFR and other superpower genes that drive our biochemistry. If we have variants in these and we're not getting the nutrition through either diet or water, or flushing our body out, or exposed to toxic chemicals like some of the people that work within toxic environments like hairdressing, like bakeries, like dry cleaning centers, like buildings that have high fumes in them because they're selling cheap products that are made in plastics and things like that, plasticides, the car workers that work on detailing and smash repairers. There's so many toxic there's so many toxic jobs out there where you're constantly exposed to toxins. If your body has mutations in these genes, then, and you can't detoxify those or clean them out of your system, you need to make sure damn well that you're actually looking after yourself, because the oxidative stress that causes long-term, usually irreversible organ damage is just sneaking up. So be aware that we can now test those genes that help support your detoxification processes, and we can understand what you need to take. And one company I work with makes a nutritional medicine that suits you, so not the person down the road or the person next to you. It's specific and personalised. I'll just see what other notes I've got, because I've been going on for a bit and it is getting late. So thank you for those who've joined and those who are watching later. So World Hemochromatosis Week is, in summary, a really important week, because it shows and shares how many people are commonly affected by hemochromatosis, which is genetic iron overload disorder. It's becoming more and more researched, but more and more understood. And if you are fatigued, have joint pains, have hormonal issues, have you're getting your vision's not going that well, you've had a family member who's had a heart attack young, especially in a male, maybe 40 to 50 years of age, and or you're getting joint aches and pains and particularly some of the index finger, you need to ask your doctor or your naturopath or your nutritionist or whoever your health practitioner is to have a gene test for hemochromatosis, and have your iron studies done, and your liver function test, and your anion gap tested, amongst other things. You also, if you're lucky and your doctor understands, or your naturopath gets it, and they usually do now, we're pretty clever people, is to get your MTHFR gene tested, and or have a chat to me and I can get you the test kit that does 20 different genes to help you drive your nutrition and make sure your body is fighting fit through your immune system, through your gut, through your heart health, through your inflammatory mediators that are in your blood. And some of us are more exposed to dangerous storms, or we call them cytokine storms of inflammation. And I go on and on. I could go on and on and on, but I'm not, because this is about just the facts. It is possible to reduce, slow down, and reverse the damaging effects of hemochromatosis if you work hard, if your body isn't being impacted by your diet that could be poor, and or if your body can reduce the oxidative effects or oxidative stress that many things, not just iron overload disorder or ferritin increases, can present. All right, so see you later. Day 3, it's actually day 6 of World Hemochromatosis Week, but I've talked long enough and I am going to come back possibly in the morning because I can do that tomorrow and just do day 4. So I've got 4 more days to go and I'll be a little bit slower than the normal 7 days of Hemochromatosis Week, but I need to get this information out there. So tomorrow I'll post up the information there and you can have a chat. If anyone wants to chat to me, pop a message in the message box here and we'll catch you all soon. Have a great Sunday.